Okie dokie. All right, we are live. We are live, live. All righty. What's going on, Miss Teresa? How you doing tonight? Hello, Sig. I see you're hanging out there. All righty, we are live and in style. What do you want? You nut? This is not the Mud and Big show. This is a different show. This is just for this is Daddy's show. You got your own show. Alrighty, how's it going, young Mudflooders out there? Alrighty, getting my little doodads here going. Um, the let me get going here. Get the thingy here. There is the show link, and it's also in the Yeah, this dog's driving me crazy. Show link is pinned at the top, and the show rules are in the description, and they are on a post that I posted earlier. Hey, Kathy Broughton, how you doing? What's going on? Alrighty, let's see, get my bearings here. If anybody would like to come and hang out, you're more than welcome, and just follow the show rules. That's all. That's all I ask. And let's go ahead and get some pleasantries out of the way.
You think you know me? You think you know my struggles, my pain, my journey? Let me tell you something. Don't judge me by what you see or hear. I didn't walk this path to impress anyone. People love to point fingers, to act like they know everything. They don't know my story. You don't know what I had to sacrifice, because everything I've become was built from battles you never saw.
Okie dokie. I see Miss Hippie Shake has joined us. Alrighty. If anybody would like to join and chat, we can.
You think you know me?
Oh, hold on. I don't know why it's just putting that one on when I put this one on. There. Okay. Let me see. All right. These buttons are complicated here. All righty. There we go. I wanted to have a little something up there behind me. Okay. All righty. Hey, Sherry Ives, how you doing? Like to ask all of you to send a little bit of, if you got a little bit of extra love and light, to send it out to our friend DN. He's could use a little extra love and light at this time, and I'm sure he would appreciate any that you could share with him. Sometimes we all need a little extra. Me and Beagle were out. One of the pheasants at the farm yesterday got loose, and we didn't know where it went, and it was a big pheasant. Thing was, I don't know, probably foot and a half tall. A big pheasant, and I know, baby, you're wanting to be in the show too, and so anyways, we couldn't find it, didn't know where it went, and they're like $800 pheasant, something like that. I don't know, expensive pheasant, and the I was walking the Beagle last night, and it was dark, and all of a sudden he just went nuts, and I was like, what in the world? And all of a sudden I saw this huge thing fly up in the air, and I'm like, oh, I bet that's that damn bird. And sure enough, it was. So then we spent an hour trying to get the bird out of a tree. We got him down finally, but boy, that was tough. That sucker did not want to come out of that tree. He was so comfortable. Beagle got into hot chocolate again. I said, you can't have that hot chocolate. And anyways, I got it from him. I gotta I gotta let him know that's no good. That's no bueno, as they say. So what's going on, Miss Teresa? So I'll hang out here for a little bit, and if we have somebody that would like to join, then we'll have a little chat. If not, then we'll shut it down and we'll do it in a couple more weeks. Um, the I did put out um, an invitation to Shawnee B, the meltologist, and gave him an opportunity to come to the show and have a chat. Um, and of course, when you invite these people to have a chat or to debate, they clam up and they won't do that. They'll talk all the crap in the world, but when it comes to putting, their truth where the mouth is, they don't have anything. So, um, maybe he'll surprise me. Be the first one to ever have some, cojones to come on and have a conversation. See, our problem is that they do not. The meltologists have a set belief system, and their little cult gets their knickers twisted if you do not believe exactly as they say you should believe. And so, because I don't toe the party line, and because I don't believe that a brick can turn into a stone, and that all mountains are melted buildings, they think that every word that comes out of my mouth is an attack on them, and then they take it personally, and then they don't hear anything I say. So because I don't, toe the party line, I don't get to have a conversation with them. So and I just think that is just absolutely retarded. I mean, that they call themselves truthers, and that's not truth. If you're not willing to talk about, your research or your ideas or your truth and have confrontations and listen to other people's opinion, then you're not spouting truth. That's not truth. There's no truth to that. And it really just gets them upset. And I just think it's ridiculous. And I think it seems like our community we're losing people over and over to these idiots. And because they are very strong, because what they do is they gather together in masses, and they attack the community with all their might. And they come in looking all lovey and lady, brick love, and slapping each other on the ass every time somebody shows a picture of a brick. And it seems that here's the thing: the meltologist, when you first go to meltology, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, okay, it's okay, yeah, we can have both Mudflood and meltology." Not when you really get into it. When you get really into it, they're not going to allow you to have that thought. You can't have both. They believe Mudflood didn't happen. Looks like Siggy's going to join us. And let me see. Hey, Sig, let me figure this out for a second. Let me remove that and add you.
I'm doing these
there you are.
pads again.
Hey. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, is he frozen? I think he's frozen. Yep, you froze there, Sig. Hey, I don't know if you can hear me. Drop at close down the stream and come back on. Sometimes that resets it. That's a common problem with the StreamYard for some reason. I don't know why, but I've heard a lot of people say that. Here, let me remove you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. He's I don't know. I don't know why these stream systems are so complicated. She, Shiva shampoo. What? Why have I heard that before? I've heard that name, Sherry Ives. I don't know. I don't know who you're talking to, but I've heard that name. I don't think you're talking to me. Let's see. Let's see. I don't. Shiva shampoo. Is that a viewer or is that a channel? Hmm. Can't remember. Trish Grace says YouTube on my phone is acting up today. YouTube was acting up yesterday for me. It was doing weird stuff. Like I'd go to click on I guess the YouTube homepage and it would just go blank. And then I'd click on my channel and it would go to my channel. It was like really weird. I don't know. Maybe they're doing some things with um, the systems. I don't know, changing things around or something. I don't know. That's really weird. I wonder what this does. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. I forgot what video this is. I've been working this week on going through my viaduct folders. The way I collect data is as I'm researching, I gather data, pictures and data, video, and I throw them in folders. I pick a label a folder for whatever the research field is, and I throw the research in a folder. And when I get enough data, and I feel like I can do something with it, I then will go through and make a video out of it. And so I've been adding to this folder since I made the viaducts video. That was a while ago. And when I'm going through it, I realized that I've got 3 different folders with stuff in it. Sig's trying to pop back in.
There it is.
Can you hear me, Sig?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there you go.
I wore iPods, whatever these Apple $200 some, and they keep pulling them out of my ear. I'm like you. I get pissed off. I just slammed it. My foot. I just stepped on it. The hell with these things. Hold on. Shit, they don't stay in your ear.
They're not staying in your ear?
No, I just freaking stepped on it too. I said, fuck it.
That's funny. I've never worn.
I just received New West Reset's shirt in the mail.
Oh yeah.
I guess I won, or I sent him a donation, and he sent out a shirt, and looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, it was a random drawing kind of thing for donators.
I think he's doing like the 10th person who comments or something.
Hold it closer. Hold it closer. There you go. There. Okay. Yeah.
And it's nice. It's nice material. I didn't know you sell stuff also on Teespring or something, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look what I found in the garbage yesterday. I'm painting it up and I'm gonna sell it.
I can't see it too good. What? Put it closer.
It's like a wall unit. You put cups and glasses and stuff in there. What is it called? The vestibule something.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. All right. I was looking at that one thing. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
I'm painting it white and going to put some funky colors on it and blah, blah, blah. So
do you fix furniture?
No weed, no drinking for days. I have a beer here from Allowed. I'm staying up late for you. Hey, Chad. Hey, everybody in chat.
Appreciate it.
You got it. I'm copying you. I'm doing first time a goatee. You had one the I think a week ago or
Oh
so.
yeah,
I'm trying it out.
that's cool, man. So you tell me more about New York. I love New York, like all kinds of New York.
One thing with the pavement glass, what you don't really talk about, what I would kept trying to put in chat and get to you is there's some pavement glass doors on the floor that open up like
Yeah.
so long ways,
Yes.
and then
Trap doors.
right,
Yes.
right,
Yes.
and what people do, they put like an, what is that thing called, an escalator to send like boxes down.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then there's another one that has an elevator, which is a long metal sheet that just lowers down one floor.
Right. Right. They those are actually really common. I actually have catalogs that show the sales flyers for those. And I've showed those on my channel. They also put them in stairs, the pavement lights. Um, they did them in all kinds of different things. But the what you're talking about, it's a conveyor. It's like a an elevator, and it drops. Sometimes they even came up
Yes,
out of the
yes,
ground. Yeah,
yes, yes, yes. My father worked in the garment district, and yes, they came up, and that's
yeah,
how they what in the garment district you would see men walking with these wheel things, and it
racks.
holds like 40 jackets, coats, pants,
Right.
and everybody's walking around with them. People, salesmen, everything. And yes, they open up and they go down. Yes,
Yep.
it's like that material on a truck. What's that called, with the that hard metal? It's like a running board, that chrome. There's a name for it. I'm so lost to words all the time.
Diamond plate.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot, yes.
Yeah.
And someone came at me in the comment section saying, "Oh, I didn't know the word burrows." What I was talking about, you got it. In Cuba, in Colombia, Colombia, they have barrios. In New York, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, every 2 blocks is like a Dominican. You could tell the different vibe. A
Right.
Dominican, Puerto Rican, Italian area. And now the yuppies are taking over everywhere. And all the beautiful, what are they called, the house that with the long ceilings, I get lost words when I'm on air.
Mm,
Oh,
the
home.
old the brownstones.
Yes, yeah. You mean you like my father? My father said, "Give me the tool," and I know exactly what it means. Yes, yes.
They're man, New York is a treasure trove of history. It blows my mind looking at at anything New York. I love it. I wouldn't want to live there. Another thing about the pavement light that a lot of people don't know is that when they designed the pavement lights, they were designed to hold a certain load, and over time, the the steel that holds up the pavement lights has weakened due to rusting,
Right.
and now they're getting weaker. And so when every now and then somebody will pull up on a sidewalk to unload something, and they'll fall right through,
Yeah. Yes.
and that's because of that.
The ones I've seen were like on the cathedral, like a beautiful greenish, maybe over
Yeah,
time, not a radiant, like an emerald green.
like a sea glass green
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
They are a later the green is a later color. The originally they were the originals were called bullseye. They're the round ones that had the metal frame, and they quit using those because they popped out real easy. All it took was a lady's heel to hit it, and it would pop out. And then they went to the square prism glass, and they were clear originally, but they put some some elements in there that when the sun hit it for long enough for a few years,
I think the color change. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they turn purple. So they didn't want that. That was not the original intent, but those are the valuable ones now.
I could also remember like an octagon shaped ones also.
Yes, they had all shapes.
Yeah, yeah.
The story goes that they came up with the idea from what are called deck prisms, and they came off the ships, and they were shaped kind of like a diamond, like on the bottom, but on the top was flat, and they allowed light to go through them down into the lower decks.
Gotcha.
That's where it came from, supposedly.
I was always afraid to walk around them, walking with a hand truck full of stuff, and just didn't. Maybe one, like you said, some of them do come up, or some of them just open up, and you never know. But
they break
mostly all the other ones next to those. I remember seeing a lot of the Indians, the wooden Indians. That's like a smoke shop or something. I forgot what the
Indians. Yeah,
yeah. And I used to deliver there to those places, those bodegas. I was telling you with the FedEx, they used to get Newport, Marlboro posters almost daily. Newport, all cool, all types of Six Salem, everything, but they didn't want them. They don't want to. They didn't. So I would go over, take the truck over to Governor's Island, and I'd scan them all there, and I'd write all their names and just get paid for all of them.
Damn.
Actually, Gad,
you know how in New York there are a ton. I don't even know the right word to use, but there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of of underground shops and apartments.
Oh,
where you have to go down. My question to you is, as a New Yorker, did people question that as being strange, or did they just
no, not at all? That was the cool stuff. That's the what's it called area? Where all the musicians hang out and everything. They turn into little bars there.
Soho.
What's his name?
Soho.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
Soho.
What's his name? Used to sing there. With the big nose, black, and you don't know what he's saying.
Oh, Dylan.
Yes, Dylan. Dylan used to hang out there. All of them, everybody.
Oh yeah. You know that area,
New York University,
was very run down. It was a shithole, and then the city they started giving the artists discounts on taxes to go in there and take over the buildings and to move into them and to keep them alive. And now those properties are worth millions of dollars.
Huge. A lot of the models, the clothing
is there.
Yeah. That's the hot place. It's always hot. That's a hot area. I could smell they have a great caramel popcorn store right in Soho there, and I could smell every block. You could smell something different. They also had the nuts in the streets, the hot pretzels, hot dogs. The nuts were I'm always lost the words when I'm online. What are the nuts that they with honey or something, and you smell all different. It's so awesome there. Cashews. Yes, cashews. But I forgot the topping that it is, and they sit there, they make them hot. Some for a bag. Used to get a bagel and a coffee for $1.
Gosh. I think CBGB's was down there too, and
yes. That it's in it's reminding me. Yes. And
Oh,
I was. How about
okay.
the Hudson? You said you were going to do something about the Hudson, and I want to say I'm on an Egyptian pyramid kick, and especially Japan. If you want to, if nobody's calling in, I could talk Japan also. Japan
Talk
has
about it. Talk about it. I saw
um
you were talking about it in the comments, but I didn't know what you were talking about. So I figured you'd let me know about that when we talk next. So talk about it.
Japan has like Stonehenge in Hippie Shake 29's part of town there. That Stonehenge, they put that back together, and you can't get close enough. They put a gate around it. You can't get that close. But in Japan and Taiwan, you could go right up to these rocks. I don't believe they had a rock on the top. That I believe it was circular, and they had one large rock in the middle, and it was for lightning. In Japan, they actually have these old megalithic round circles, megalithic, huge megalithic stones, and it's for lightning. The dragon in Japan is known in all of these ancient sites, ancestries. Um, they know it as lightning. A dragon is lightning, and they blow up the firecrackers, and then they do like when you're coming up to the ancient sites. There's rope, hemp rope, twisted, twirled, and that is also is another thing saying that's lightning. The rope is like lightning, and it says it on when you read when you're coming up to these mounds. Um, and it's not a museum, but they tell you what it's all about, and they actually say it's for electroculture. The lightning hits the rock, and it fertilizes the ground, and then they also put like they they do alchemy. There's this channel, Land of Chem. Kathy went over there with me, and also Paul Cook, Hippie Shake told me, 29 told me, Paul Cook mentioned this channel, Land of Chem. Inside the pyramids, there are some areas for healing and meditation, but each room, the Egyptians are saying that it's from bats. The smell is from bats, but no, people smell ammonia and all different types of
Huh.
chemicals. But here's what the pyramids are for: the lightning would hit the pyramid, and the Egyptians alchemy, they would make something in there that turned into ammonia and another chemical, and when the lightning hit, the fog came up out of the top of the pyramid, the top what do they call it, the room there, and it would go up into the sky and then come down rain, the fertilizer, and it would make the desert green. It would make and also
Huh.
Egyptians know solar weather. Uh, I don't want to get to. If I know, I have to know. I have to write something down, and I'll tell you. But it's a lot. Getting back to Japan, yes, they have a lot of pyramids, and they actually say it's for electroculture, for the fields, for the rice paddies and stuff.
That's interesting. I
Yeah.
love Japanese culture. I always have.
Like if there was a big creator like autodidactic. I'm a little bit upset with autodidactic right now. He's rolling too much with that TikTok stuff. He should get back to the research. He's starting to go after. He's starting to put
Yeah,
out
I've
now
seen
that,
that. I don't know what that's about. I don't know why he's doing that.
yeah, it's enough. He's getting a lot of views. A lot of people don't have the. It's like the TikTok 7 minutes, and then the next one. Then he's writing it out too much. If he has, I love autodidactic, but I'll get back to him when he's done with that stuff. He's also now
Well,
putting out that a lot of things are under the water. Atlantis might be still under there.
I have my own thought on where Atlantis is. But one thing I've learned about Atlantis in my research is that nobody agrees on where Atlantis is. I've heard all different places, but I
Yeah,
do have my own personal theory. But
Egypt, old world Florida swears it's in
or yeah, but I don't agree with that.
yeah.
But
Well, I do agree with this with old world Florida with that Noah's Ark was built in the Gulf. There's four rivers. They say in the Bible, there's 3 or 4 rivers that enter into the ocean, into a larger water. All those from Georgia coming down, they're all Egyptian names. And Noah's Ark was built out of gopher wood. The only place in the whole world gopher wood is you can find gopher wood is in Georgia. And he does a show, and he puts on an old guy that talks and tells the whole story with gopher wood. But it's a light wood, and it holds out water. And
huh,
those,
I've never heard of gopher wood. That's interesting.
yes,
That
yes,
the the I forget what it's called. I believe the Atlantis was in the middle of Africa, North Africa.
yeah. A lot of
Um,
people that round the circles there
yeah,
and stuff. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my
That's
opinion,
what,
but I don't know because I have seen it all across the board, all across the map. So that's just my thinking, and I don't even go there because it's so. There's too many theories on it to really set myself down in stone on that.
yeah.
But that's where I think it is right now.
Roger Dodger from Flood University. He says it also is Egypt. And
Wait, who's that? Roger Dodger. Who is that?
Roger from Mudflood University.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, he has a channel, a large channel, and he's been around quite some time.
Is that what it's called? Mudflood University?
Yes, sir.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
Huh.
he's been around, and he has a
Mudflood
bunch of like stellium hearts, stone hearts, a lot of petrified animals. He keeps like a swan or something right on his desk, and he always goes to it. And he's okay. He's got a lot. He's got a big what is it called? A lot of subscribers. I think he's like
Hold on,
200,000 now.
let me look that up.
Yeah.
It's called Mudflood University.
Yes. His big thing also is that the Earth is alive, and he shows like the certain places of the Earth where it looks like it's beating. And
Wait, Mud Fossil University or Mud
yes,
Flood?
yes, that's it. Something
Oh, okay.
something like that. Somebody
I
has
might
the
have
channel.
heard that. I think I have heard of Mud
Yeah.
Fossil University.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I got
Wait.
into him a couple of months, and
Is this the guy? Oh, yes, I know who you're talking. He's the guy that points at the screen with something.
with a feather.
Yes,
with a
yes,
feather.
yes, yes. I know exactly who you're talking about. Okay. Okay, yeah, he's been around a long time. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
There you go.
And
You threw
yeah.
me off there for a second, though.
I go around. Yeah, I go around in circles. I talk sideways. Getting back to like Japan.
Yeah, go ahead.
If like autodidactic does Australia, if somebody in Japan, if a creator came out, Tartaria create, you would see all these new things that they have there, and it's in Japan is incredible. And who knows what Hiroshima, what I don't want to say BOMB.
I don't think it was a nuclear bomb. No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. You could say it. I'm not. I don't think it was either. Too many things were standing up straight, and
Yeah.
it looked like a war. It looked like bombs.
I think they bombed the shit out
Yeah,
of it, but I don't think it was what they told us it was. No.
Exactly. Me too. Me too.
No.
Me too.
No, that's a different. They want us to believe. I think what they were doing was setting us up for the 50s and the Cold War, and making us because they were going to use that as a fear tactic.
Fear.
Well, it worked too.
Oh, how about right off of Cuba? And Cuba put him those things. Oh my.
Yep. and people believed it. They, you know, if you talk to people that were kids in that era, they really feared that stuff.
Oh, how about in school? Drop and go underneath the desk.
Yep.
Oh, like that's gonna help.
Yeah, if that's going to do anything. God, and they really like instilled that in people, and people really still believe that crap. It's sad, but
Yes. Mo- yes.
it was a different time. Also, I mean, people, you know, back then the information wasn't as available as now, and you know, you kind of believed the authorities when somebody spoke. When the president spoke and said something, you believed them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not anymore.
And oh, I just learned something else new.
What's that?
The first 10 presidents, I'm not racist. I'm doing some going down a little hole, rabbit hole. The first 10 presidents were black or black ancestry. That it was whitewashed. They're whitewashed. It's whitewashed.
Yeah, send me something on that. I'd be interested in that. There has been a lot of whitewashing of the black royalty, the black nobility.
Yes, that's exactly yes.
Yes,
That's where it goes to, like kings' families or royalty families, and
I mean there's a lot of that in Europe. There is a lot of black nobility that was erased from history.
yes, yes. And I think there was a lot. Moors had a bigger to do in the past. A lot the Moors, and
Oh yeah.
here in the States, I'll tell you also so I was going to also say how beautiful New York is. Central Park is beautiful. It's not small. It is a nice chunk of land there. It's beautiful can be. There's 3 Egyptian obelisks there with Egyptian writings on it, and all 3 of them face the Orion's belt, and that's just wild.
That whole story of how they moved Cleopatra's needle is so suspect to me.
Yes.
I don't necessarily believe any of that. I don't know.
And you got to show us. You got to show everybody the Hudson. Going up the Hudson, that fort there, it goes on for miles.
Oh, are you talking about the armament fort?
Yes.
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 Bannon's Castle.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I do have a folder full of Hudson Valley brick making videos that I'm going to do a movie night on. I keep getting sidetracked with other things I'm working on, and it's just it'll happen. It's matter of fact, I found another great one last night about brick making. See, I think that I don't think people really understand how freaking difficult it is to make a brick. I don't think people really get that. And I'm trying to find more and more research to explain this to people.
It's a mastery. I'm lost to words again. Professionals, that word. It's mind blowing, and
it's an art form. It is incredible how hard it is to make bricks.
And you blew me away. So Japan had a world fair there?
Yeah, here was my thinking. I was sitting there looking at this the World's Fair, the Columbian Exposition, and I don't remember why, but the Brazilian exhibition popped up. And I thought, you know what, it just kind of triggered me to remember my own theory about how I believe there was a World Fair being held all around the world at one time. And then I thought, I wonder where else there are World's Fair sites that I haven't seen. I just said, I wonder if there's one in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And that came right up, and I'm like, you gotta be shitting me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never heard of it. I'd never seen it. And I'm sorry, but it was just as good as any other one. I
It's
mean,
so
it wasn't that large.
Japan is very beautiful. It's so green.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I
There.
love that movie with Tom. What's his name? The Mission Impossible guy. Uh,
Not
you know what I'm
Tom
talking about.
Cruise.
Yes, Tom Cruise. The movie where he plays the American soldier that goes over to the Japan.
Yeah, yes,
Team.
yes.
That is
Samurai.
awesome. Yeah,
Samurai.
Last Samurai.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Awesome movie.
When I
Awesome.
was young, when I was a little boy, and I don't remember the year, but it was in the 1970s. My mother had the bright idea to take me to the movie theater to see the movie Ron, Ran. And I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it
No,
was
sounds
definitely,
familiar, but I don't think I
well,
did.
it was definitely not a movie for a child. But that movie influenced my thinking in a lot of ways because it was a rude awakening into Japanese culture. That was a brutal movie.
Well, my awakening to beautiful, like where you are, and grass, and Kathy, Kentucky, grass green, and trees green. My best childhood friend had moved. His parents took him up to upstate New York, and they bought a house there on the side of a mountain and a creek. And they invited me up to spend the weekend, and I went up there, and everybody was asleep. She woke up early, the mother, and she's starting to cook for us. And I woke up. I said, "Why'd you move up here? There's nothing up here. Trees and there's nothing." And she goes, "Come here, David. Look at this." And she opened up the window, the shades, and I didn't get it back then. It was all just beautiful trees and a creek going through. And yeah, it was so quiet and quaint. She was the only one. They were the only ones on the mountain. They were on the other side was a ski lodge. It was beautiful. Now I wish that's
You know what?
heaven.
Coming from New York, you were used
Yeah,
to the noise.
yeah, yes,
You know?
yes. Oh, I needed to hear a bus going by or the police sirens every night. Every night. It was a natural thing.
I could understand that. You kind of get. I used to live kind of near a couple blocks away from a train, and when I first started living there, it was annoying. But then it became soothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The trains going by.
Yeah, yes.
All
And
right.
getting back to the brownstones, actually in Manhattan and Brooklyn, and a little bit in the Bronx, those were the nicest, beautiful, high ceilings. And then I asked you a question, what was
Yeah.
that metal stuff? And I said, was that tin they had up on the ceiling as it?
Yes.
And then you said it's copper. Or did I say copper? It was green. You told me it was tin.
Well,
The ceilings with the metal, like
it's tin. You could. Well, some of them could be cast iron, but mostly they used tin because it was cheaper. Now on the outside, they used cast iron because they made it so it wouldn't rust. It's not the cast iron we have today. They had a formula for making cast iron back then that would not rust.
a
And
lot of people leave that up, and they do like crown molding on the bottom. It's beautiful. It's
yeah,
beautiful. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really cool stuff. I have
yeah.
the catalogs that show where you could buy that stuff, but I think that these catalogs that I have are actually where they went in and made catalogs based on the products that were in these buildings to make it look like they had a catalog that the products came from. Because I don't think we made those things.
How's chat doing? Am I putting you to sleep? You want me to dance for you? Told you I'd be good tonight.
Hey, you said that last time you were on, you said you were 85% Jewish.
Yeah, yeah.
Or did
My
you?
fa- my my father was Polish, Russian, German, Jewish. My mother was born in Italy, spent half her life in Poland, and they both met in East Brooklyn.
Wow,
And yeah, I'm a full mutt, but
that's cool.
yeah, I had a bar mitzvah. My father made me do a bar mitzvah. But on Jewish holidays or on Christian holidays, we would go to a Disney World. It would be empty. We'd go to a lot to Atlantic City. They were big gamblers. And we would go to Atlantic City a lot. And it was the quiet time, or do a cruise or something like that.
Okay.
Knock on wood. Anybody could laugh at my last name. Don't dox me now. Let them go on Patreon, and they could see Hot Dog. But they were always there for me. I had a present every day. My brother and sister was adopted. They told my parents they can't have children, and they came to Florida, bought my brother, and they didn't have enough for my sister, so they asked the rest of the family. Everybody turned them down. And my father just went to work, busted his butt in Manhattan, and did flea markets on weekends. And they got my sister. And then I was a miracle baby. I came out like 10 years later. They
Oh,
were much older than me. And but I got crazy attention. They were great. Fantastic. Loving it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
cool.
also the axe. You said that you were sick when this Bernard schmuck. I went to the bathroom for 2 minutes and I came back. Two things I want to say. I also I started off in prepping. I used to watch this big large channel Marfugal, and large community. I helped them grow, and then I had enough. The world's not going to end. I'm spending thousands of dollars on all this stuff, water, this, that, and everything. And the rotating, I got so crazy with the rotating and then messing up stuff.
Been there, done that. Yep.
And
Oh yeah.
uh, so then I wanted more uplifting. I found this guy Mark Pires, and I was watching you. I was you had on, I think, first you had like John Levy, and you had Martin Leak, I think. I started watching you a year or two before that, but I didn't go and chat. I didn't even press likes or anything. But I just like watching the buildings, how you showed the buildings and everything. It was like mellow. It was like mellow cool. Where am I going with this, David? Mark Perez. He was doing laughter, comedy, positivity, and music. He's a really good musician. And
He
I
played
forgot where I was
live on
going
his
with this.
channel. He played
Yes.
live on his channel.
Yeah. He's still on. He did like 2,700 days in a row, and he just wasn't hitting the algorithm. I had Brian Stevely on his show. I had Stavely, David Weiss, Marion Hanane, a whole bunch of truthers on his show. And
David Weiss that's Dearth, right?
yes.
Okay, yeah. I like him. Yeah.
And
I tried to, last night. I tried to ask Mark Sargent a question, and he didn't see my question, but I sure wanted an answer to it. I hold on. Let me see. I was looking. Let me look up what I was trying to ask. I'm looking for a good way to debunk gravity wave detection, the new science that they're putting out. And I was asking him about that, but he didn't see my question.
He's getting tossed around by that guy Geronimo Dran that went to the Antarctica.
Oh, that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was filmed on Amazon Studios. Yeah, that's a bunch of horse shit.
Yes, I believe so too. Yeah, he's driving around $100,000 Mercedes now, over $100,000. Something's up. Something's up.
Yeah, I think we know what's up.
But he's having it out with David Weiss with Dearth right now.
Really?
Yes. Oh, I know where I was getting with the mod. That's where I was going with the Burn. That guy who came in. Mark Perez had a couple of mods, but nobody, like, when someone came in and gave him crap, he used to take care of the trolls himself. It was so funny. I remember this is just this one I wanted to tell you, like, don't answer him back or whatever, or let the creator take care of him. Mark would whoop their butt, and one guy came to the show. Why are you singing with the $2,500 mic? And they went back at it. And at the end, Mark says, "What do you want me to come online with the 1995 mic? I'm singing on in front of people here, and it's my trade." And then he wound up becoming a good member of Mark's channel. Now, getting back to this guy, Teresa also said, I guess Teresa's right. That was ugly, nasty, but I came from the bathroom and I said, give a little, take a little, burn, whatever. He might be listening in tonight. But you're right, and it wasn't nice.
I don't care if people talk shit to me. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I'm old enough. I've been called every name under the sun. You're not gonna hurt my feelings, but I think it's like, okay, just imagine you've never met me, you don't know my situation. I could be dying of cancer and you come and talk shit about the way I look because of health reasons. I mean, that is so fucking low.
Yeah.
And I just don't have any, why would you do that to anybody? You don't know their situation. You don't know why the way they look,
Now I was getting also the reason that I said Plum's butt is I wanted to be a comedian and try and like loosen up the situation. It was taking you a little bit of while to find out it was black screen, dark screen. And yes, you had the situation. Same thing with me. I was in an accident 2017, 2019. That's when I started finding YouTube and becoming a prepper when I was getting out. They told me I was never going to walk in, but under my t-shirt, under my shorts, I look like Frankenstein. I went underneath a 18-wheeler. So I'm there with you.
Wow. I almost died in 2007, and that's what actually triggered me into awakening. So, I get that definitely. But you don't know what people, it's one thing to joke about, a person's hair or their weight or the colors, their skin or their ethnicity, but to joke about a person's health, we're all fucked up in health. None of us are doing okay.
Yeah. 100.
So 100. Not cool.
Yeah.
You don't do that to people. That's instant block. Fuck you. Not to mention the fact that you went back and looked at what the guy was talking about. He was actually, I don't know if you caught this, but he was actually just a fucking meltologist that was trying to talk shit.
I didn't get a chance to see how long he was on YouTube or anything like that, but I was trying to send him love, and then I think he was asking me what the show was about, and I told him manipulation, high resolution photos. I was trying to be nice.
He knew if you go see, I can go back and read his comments.
Teresa's right. Yeah, Teresa was right.
What they do is they come in and they act like they're cool and they're being all friendly, and then they try to be sly and slick and put in these little jabs and stuff. And when that doesn't work, then they go for the jugular and show their ass.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
Yeah,
they come up here and talk to me. They won't come and have a chat. They won't have a conversation, but they'll death threat me and they'll blame me for doing things that I don't do. And they're really sick individuals.
Yeah. It's keyboard warriors. That idiots.
Yeah, and this is something that somebody was making a comment, and they were saying that they thought that Mind Unveiled and Lucius Alorian were also saying these same things. Now I don't know if that's true. So if anybody knows that Lucius Alorian or Mind Unveiled are saying that bricks can turn into a stone, or that all mountains are melted brick buildings, I want to know about it. Please point me to a video, because if they are saying that, then I won't put them on the list. I don't care if they believe it.
Lucius grew very fast. He's very smart how he did it. He would show things and then ask the chat what they think. And that's getting more people in the chat. The algorithm likes that. And his channel grew like crazy. I followed, I went 2 shows a while back, and then he never comes back across my feed again. Kathy likes him, so I went into a show the other day, and yes, he's nice. His voice is great. He's very his research is awesome, and he interacts with the crowd.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
I'm not good at that. I don't. It is really hard for me to present what I'm trying to present and interact with the chat. That is very difficult for me. Some people are good at it. I'm not good at that. I can have a conversation like you and I are having a conversation, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm trying to do a presentation and then look at the chat and then interact with the chat and that just really doesn't work on me.
Ha! You in the house tonight? Did your football team win that night, Super Bowl?
I'll tell you what, that Super Bowl. Have you seen the Bad Bunny halftime show that is just him singing the actual backing track? That is the funniest thing.
I didn't see anything of it. Everybody's inside watching the Olympics right now.
You gotta watch that. You gotta watch the Bad Bunny acapella, the backing track.
I'll check it out.
It is so bad. Oh my goodness, it is horrible.
Well, Bad Bunny, he's Puerto Rican. He does a lot for Puerto Rico, actually. His neighborhood there. I have 2 close friends that live in Puerto Rico. I go over and visit them, and they showed me the apartment complex is a huge, like 8 acres of large apartment buildings, and Bunny gives them all free food, and he does a lot for them there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where's he getting that money from, though?
He sells records. I think a lot of his music. They love his music there. I don't know. Yeah,
the record company makes a lot of money.
Who knows? Who knows? He could be an Epstein bunny.
Yeah, that's more what I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh man,
that's a whole mess.
Also, Autodidactic was saying, I don't know how this is getting my mind, that Ghislaine Maxwell, she knew how to drive a sub. She knows how to drive the sub. And they're definitely going somewhere underneath. There's an underneath world going on, elites going on, something around there. And I
wouldn't doubt it.
Underneath Greenland too. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
There's a lot of tunnels underneath America. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
My nose is running, but I'm not hanging out with Bunny.
I'm getting on this hot chocolate tonight.
Enjoy. So nobody else is calling in. I'm the only one with the grapes.
I did invite Shawnee B. I said, Shawnee, you could be the first meltologist in history to have the balls to come and have a conversation with me.
No problem. Next week I'll play. I don't know. I was going to talk with you music or something with that. I like all kinds of music. Spoons. I watch also the hot pepper contests. That's my little shits and giggles.
I've seen stuff like that. Yeah.
Funny as heck. There's
people that say they'll say hot Taki and then hottest pepper in the world, and they eat all these different things. No reaction.
That one chip was hot for a while. It was all over TikToks and also that it's like a really hot chip. One Dorito chip, full of ghost pepper or something, and
That's insanity.
One more topic with I wanted to talk about mods and how mods act different some places. Or someone pissed me off a mod in Archaics. I think he's very book smart. But getting back to the mods are all fired up in there, like inviting trolls. Oh, I'll slant with hammers. Come on over here, and I'll get you. And then I look up their profile. They're all full of light and consciousness, talking and beautiful, loving. And then you're a mod saying, "You're gonna whack. Come on over, so I can whack you." And
I see a lot of that too. Yeah.
It pisses me off. Someone was following me around just recently. I'm not gonna say their names, and it was bothering me this week. But I get over.
You
Just
know,
gotta
it's
let
funny.
it go. Wow, I
One of the-
really did break my freaking iPod.
Did you? Oh, you did. Dang. You stepped
The
on it.
thing kept falling out of my ears.
One thing I have noticed about mods on a lot of these channels is that when you come in and you are hush, babe, and you disagree, and they find out you disagree with the host, okay, well, they will strategically get you pissed off to where you say something so they can then block you.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. That's shady.
Yeah, it's do the right thing. That's it. The only one I troll around, but he likes it in his chat, is Old World Florida. And what other rabbit holes am I going down? I would really like to see you do the Hudson, the fort. I would me personally maybe do one of those voting things to keep your one thing steady. Put something out here. What would you like to see in a vote? And let chat do it, or in comments in a post.
Let me look at it and see where I've got it at this point, because I have been working on it. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3. Okay, that one's good. That one's good. I've got 3 of those videos that are ready to watch. One's 28 minutes, one's 7 minutes, one is oh, it doesn't tell. Hold on. Oh, an hour and 14 minutes. And I know I have I've got more. See, I got sidetracked on 2 things right now. One is the Lyme research, and the other is my viaducts. I'm starting to work on the second viaducts video. And I'm going through that's going to be good. I did not realize how much I had not put into the first one, and how much I have since. See, when I did that first viaducts video, I did it because I realized that Autodidactic and Martin Lika did not know what I was talking about, so I realized it was something new. So I did a video very quickly, and I didn't present everything I had at the time, and now I've got a lot more. I've got some really juicy stuff, and it's going to be really cool because I've got stuff I did not have back then that will really bring the story forward. But anyways, I got lost in that. I got lost in the Lyme research. I think Lyme is a key component to this thing too. And so I'm trying to bring more of that. But I have 3 of these Hudson Valley brick videos that are really close to being able to present. I've already put them through a test to see if I can show them, which I can. So that's the first part, and then I gotta probably I don't know if I'll play them all at one time or do them separately or what. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's on my plate.
Hey, the next time you pop into something like a radium stove, Teresa never seen one of them. I keep forgetting to show her one. She never seen a stove that heats with radium. And also
just look for the radium symbol. That's the thing you're looking for.
At Fafo Farms, all that wood you cut, the boiler system. What is that for? What is that heat? What is it heating?
It used to heat a lot of different things, but we've changed it over this past year. We've made a lot of modifications to it. We actually tore it completely apart and rebuilt it because it was old. It was old when we got it, and then we used the hell out of it, and so we had to fix it. So we fixed it up this year, and then now it's heating just the greenhouse, which is a large. It's like a 40 by 40 foot greenhouse, and it's got tropical plants in it. And it's I don't even know what's in there. It's like hundreds of different tropical plants. I don't know what the hell's in there.
Does this guy see an end? Do you see any end? How much more property does he have to do more?
Well, the truth is that we're very close to running out of property, and we're trying everything we can to buy more. And the people are holding on to it for dear life for whatever reason. And we're actively trying to buy land, but it's just not we're not getting our way yet. And we're offering way too much and still not getting what we want, and it's frustrating because we have so many things we want to do and we can't because we have built so much out here. It's crazy. I don't show you got to understand, this is a private property, so I can't show a lot of it because it's private property. It's his private space, so I can't show you half the shit I do.
Does he check into your show to the videos a couple of times? Does he watch any?
Not really. He thought he was awake until he met me, and then he realized he didn't know shit. He when I first started working for him, he heard, through the grapevine that I was a conspiracy theorist. He tried to test me. He's like, so do you watch Ancient Aliens? I like Ancient Aliens. And I'm like, yeah, I left that behind a long time ago. And he was like, oh. He goes, well, how about what's the place out there in Skinwalker Ranch? He goes, do you watch Skinwalker Ranch? And I'm like, no.
Anything new on Old Oak Island? Oak Island?
No, they took a break the past 2 weeks because of the damn Olympics, and I haven't been able to watch it. I'm pissed. So, but there's nothing new right now. That
something come up. Something will come up.
Man, it's frustrating because there is something going on there, and it's either that they are not being allowed to show it or they just have not found it yet, because it's incredible. If you really get into it and you take the time and understand it, it is so cool.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things to look into.
How about snow by you? You had a lot of snow there by you?
We had 6 inches one time, and it didn't last very long.
First time I ever seen last week went down to the 20s and 30s. I couldn't get the frost. I didn't have something to take the frost off the thing. It was screwed.
That's
And
right.
I bet the Teslas you can't open the doors. I heard they couldn't open the doors.
Really?
Yeah,
But they were frozen, or the
yeah.
computers wouldn't let it open.
Throw both, all of the above, and then also the batteries
You
die out.
know.
Like they go nowhere.
That's
They're starting to roll out autonomous cars here now, starting in Miami. Believe it or
uh,
not.
that's so
Yeah,
stupid.
they're,
That's horrible.
yeah.
It
They're
makes
doing this, but they're doing it right. They already started in Las Vegas and California. They're going like down streets that go one street a long way. So it's trying to make people feel like comfortable, but the kids are just taking all the parts out of it and leaving a mess in the cars. They must be losing money right now, but sooner or later we're going to go that way.
I was listening to an atheist this morning, and he blatantly said that he is a transhumanist, and I'm like, dude, you are so lost.
That's not even in the. I believe they're trying to go that way a bit, but
To actually
a
want that's insanity.
plug me in. No, thank you.
No, I'm gonna pass on all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
That the prepping thing. I went through the same thing in 2008, where I was starting to prep, and I prepped this, I thought I'm going to survive the fucking apocalypse, man.
Me
Yeah,
too.
and,
Me
yeah. I
too.
came to the realization that, like, you give me a K bar, I'm good. That's all.
I thought if nobody was gonna call tonight, I was gonna set up the background of all my Sig Sauers and ARs and stuff like that, and I got so much. It pisses me off looking at it all. I have two memes I gotta send you. Two cute memes. I sent one of them into this new Telegram we're in, and it's a house, and it's just large trees right around the house, like 40 feet around. It's square and just one house. And I said, that's Beag's house.
We can go. I can just walk outside and shoot. I don't have to go anywhere. I mean, it's just
Even here where I'm right now, and especially in New York, it's like $375 a year to join. Then they make you buy their ammo at $2 a bullet. It's crazy. I could go out to Okeechobee too. I could go out there and shoot everything also, but I like to stay. Now people are gonna start saying, "Oh, Glock this and whatever this and that." Show me a Sig Sauer high performance AR for $1,000. Even you get for $800 to $1,000 a high performance AR Sig Sauer. Anybody out there that's making fun of my name in chat or anything, find an AR for $1,000. Sig Sauer has one.
I love shooting an AK.
Oh, I love
Just
the
for sheer
sound.
fun. I
I
just love the feel of it. I just love that.
Here in Florida, all the 4th of July, they go crazy with that stuff. When I used to go to the Poconos, from New York to go up to vacation to Poconos, there used to be stands alongside the road, and they had like 40 different guns, Uzis, all of that stuff, AKs and
We've
everything,
got
and just load.
on the forum. We've got a World War II. I don't know what it's called. It's the machine gun that mounts on the tripod on the ground. And it's like a body like that side, and it's like it's a big massive thing.
50 caliber.
Might be.
No?
It's a
It has
beast.
2 handles.
Yeah, it's got 2 handles. Yeah.
Could be a 50.
Yeah, I don't know. We have those big, if you go to the gun store and you see the largest gun safes, the stand-up gun safes,
Mm.
We've got 3 of those full of guns.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we're set.
Yeah.
We're good.
Well, I believe there's going to be something else. I think it's going to be something with money that they want to go digital currency. So they're going to say that money has the disease on it. And that's why they have to get rid of money to go digital currency. And people are going to go for it.
Yeah, that'll be when you see them go to digital currency, that'll be the beginning of the end, because that will definitely be that's not good.
The new Wall Street is Miami now, but I think within 7-8 months they'll be they're all moving down there. All the kids, everybody
Again,
I drive.
don't pay attention to Wall Street and all this, right? I not anymore. I used to, but you know, the other day I heard somebody talk about Dow is at 50, and I'm like, okay, that's something. Let me go look at that. And I hadn't looked at the Dow in a long time. Have you looked at a chart, like a historical chart of the Dow recently?
No.
Let me bring that up because that actually blew my mind when I saw that.
Crypto took a big hit the last 2 weeks. Huge hit. They're down. It's down almost half.
You see, crypto's retarded because if the electrical system, if the electrical grid goes down, you lose all of that.
That's it. Yeah. Well, then Elon Musk will save the day with his Dogecoin, with his satellite stuff. And
there we go, Max. How do I? Oh, how do
Hey, chat, am I keeping you? You want me to dance for you guys again?
Okay, it's not. Okay, I want to. Okay, let me share it here.
My alligator hat I bought for $1 at the flea market.
Okay. Okay, there it is. Okay. Here's what I find is interesting. In 2008, which is right here, okay, is where we had the financial crash of 2008. Now, what they did was they pumped up the stock market with fake money. Okay, they never healed the stock market. People think we recovered. We didn't. All they did was pump it up with fake money on a screen. But if you look at the Dow, look at what it's done since then. It is like has gone absolutely berserk. It was, it's down here during the crash around 15 or 10 or some shit, about 8,000, let's say. And then now it's at 50,000. I mean, that right there shows that it's we're talking a whole other, like, they are. I don't think people are understand. That's not real money. That is not real. It's a bubble, and they have blown it up to astronomical proportions.
If crypto was going to fall a little bit more, the housing market was going to crash also, and automobiles were going to start falling like crazy. But it somehow rebounded a little bit this week. Crypto. It's not backed by anything.
Gold.
No, gold where it's at. Silver took a fall also this past week, but it's bouncing back also again.
Gold and silver. That's real money.
All right, I'm gonna get going. Leave you alone. I hope we kept the chat busy enough. And
I think we did.
I will definitely find some people for us next time.
Okay.
And you have an awesome evening. I have an appointment at Motor Vehicles tomorrow. I got to get some new license plates.
I hear you.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I got an appointment. I can't take waiting on those lines and stuff. I'll break another iPad. I'll throw the iPad at the people.
I hear you. Well, we'll do this in another couple of weeks, so come and join me then, okay?
You got it, brother. You have a wonderful week. Everybody in chat, have a wonderful evening. Love you guys. DN, I hope everything is okay with you, brother. We're thinking about you.
Absolutely.
Love everybody. Bye-bye, guys. See you
later, Pig. Thanks.
Bye. You got it.
All righty. We are back here. And if anybody else would like to join in, and the show link is at the top of the chat. If anybody else would like to join in and have a conversation, we'll hang out here for a little bit longer. If not, and let's see, we'll get my little thingy here. I tell you what, let's see. I tell you what, let me let the Beagle out, and if anybody wants to jump on, come and chat with us. And we'll let him out, and we'll be right back. Okay. Okie dokie. Alrighty. We are back. If anybody would like to come on and have a chat, the link is at the top of the show, and the show rules are in the description. And, don't be afraid. I don't bite. Well, I bite Meltologist. Okay, I'll admit I bite Meltologist, but no, I don't bite. I will talk to any of you guys, and we can have a conversation. If you have any questions, you can put them in chat here. Let's see what we got going here. Happy to understand what you're saying. Most individuals alive, they found creatures trapped in tree resin, millions of years old, same DNA as creatures nowadays. I don't know, the evolution thing is, that's all made up. Our history, it goes back much further than they're telling us. Hundreds of millions of years, maybe. Yeah, they're definitely keeping the true history from us. That's why I don't have a problem questioning history, because I know how much of a lie it is. And the question is, what's the truth? I'd like to know. I think a lot of you would like to know. Now, Sig, now that vaping now, that vape, I used to be a smoker too, but that vaping is might want to look into that. I would take a look into that vaping stuff. That's a different monkey. For sure. Just look back here. You guys got any questions? Holler at me. And let's see what we're talking about, hippie. I feel we're living on an entity called Gaia, and we evolve as being over time. It's like a school where we are. So we said is reassuring. I didn't see what they said. Before we go back here and find it. You've just had 2 cookies, Mr. Cookie Hog. These pictures are amazing to me. They're colorized images. I don't know who took these. I don't think these are Detroit publishing pictures. I don't believe, but they are cool. Very cool. Let me get rid of that. Okay. All right. Anybody else wants to come on, go ahead and hop on here. Otherwise, we're going to shut her down. And I'm going to go work on some things. I'm going to go work on my viaducts. I'm going through my viaduct videos, my pictures and videos and data, and trying to sort it all out. There's a lot of I've been collecting for years now, ever since I released that video. So I've always been looking into that, trying to find more, and I definitely have some new stuff to bring, and it's going to be quite an interesting update as to what I found. It's going to give you a very interesting perspective, I think, on salt air. Cup of salt air in that video. Oh, talking about salt air in Salt Lake, I think is what you're saying. Yeah, that place was really cool. There might have been some salt air pictures in there. These could be Detroit Publishing. I really don't remember. I've got so many daggone videos right now. I saw Haha was in here earlier. I don't see him now. I think he hopscotched out of here. I do not see him. I see Jason Marshall was here earlier. And Odin's Raven was here. Got White Dragon hanging out. Do. Alrighty. Yeah, salt air. Yeah. Didn't they burn that place down? I think. I can't remember too good about it. I think they said there was several salt airs. I'm not real positive. That was a neat place though. That whole Salt Lake, or the whole Utah area, is just, there's a lot going on there that I think that we need to look into. I think definitely there could be melted buildings in that area. See, that's the problem with the meltologists, is they think I don't believe in melted buildings. That I don't think that's possible. They think I'm just saying, no, you're crazy. No, that's not what I'm saying, and they don't want to listen to the words that come out of my mouth. My problem is that when you say a brick turns into a stone, like some magical, unicorn farts, I mean, it just doesn't. There's no evidence for it. There's no scientific way to prove it. There's no, it's just some, it literally came from the mind of a crackhead. So I mean, you're starting from a crackhead. The idea comes from a crackhead. I mean, a literal crackhead. I'm not even like making this up. Like, he literally is a drug addict. Jerry DeCamp is a drug addict. And I mean, bad drug addict. Like, he is like whacked out of his mind. And then he these people pick it up and they're on drugs. And then they just add to this crazy theory. So they take an interesting idea and then they just twist it and morph it into this thing. And then next thing you know, icebergs become melted buildings. They're not saying there's buildings under the ice. They're saying literally icebergs are a building. And it's like, yeah, Mud wants camera time. Yeah, he's down here under my feet playing with my feet. He's a nut. He is a pure nut. He tore up something last night. I don't even know what the hell it was. He got a hold of something cedar or something. And that dog, he's a nut. He's a pure nut. I don't know what his problem is. Iron. Let's see. What's she saying? Have you heard of the Iron Fleet, big iron ships? Are you talking about the ironclad ships, the Civil War ironclad ships? They were big, around my area. They don't have much, there's not really. I think they found one. They didn't last too good. They were really weird looking though. Strange stuff. Very weird and strange stuff. I found this log splitter last night. That's it's like imagine a normal gas powered log splitter, but it's flipped upside down and then it's mounted on a bobcat. And you use the bobcat hydraulics as the motor, as the to push the hydraulic pumps. And so you can roll up to a log and grab the log and just push the splitter and it just splits it and drops it. Man, that's badass. I think we need to get one of those. So, as a matter of fact, I have to look around and see if we can find one of those. We could probably have one made. I guess, I don't know. I don't know how hard it is to make like a hydraulic log splitter. That, I mean, can't be too much to it. I don't think. All it is a actuator arm that goes in and out. I don't know. Oh, Vanilla Ice. You live near Vanilla Ice? He's big into real estate. He buys homes and I think he flips homes is his thing. But he's big into, he's made his own little fortune in buying and selling homes. He's a pretty smart cookie. He made a lot of money off this ice baby thing. I watched just because it was interesting in when I was younger, but you know this new Milli Vanilli documentary. I thought that was interesting. I think it's called "Girl, You Know It's True." Yeah, I think that's what it's called. That was interesting to me just because it was interesting when I was in high school. That was Milli Vanilli. They were big, and then I remember they when they came out, they were not singing and all. People went flipped out, and it became like taboo to listen to Milli Vanilli. And people were burning their CDs and crushing them, running them over with their cars, and I don't know, kind of it's weird. Like I don't know if that was big in other countries, but over here it was so they were just so popular, and I mean they were the jam. That Milli Vanilli, that was the jam in the day, and of course I was into that kind of music at that time, and then Nirvana hit, and that changed my whole perspective on music. That was I remember the first time I ever heard Nirvana. Um, I was we were holding I don't remember what year it was. It was probably 90, 92, 93 maybe. I don't know. Probably more like 92. Anyways, we were having a house party and we had a lot of parties back then. And I'm behind the bar and I'm filling kegs, and we'd have 5 kegs back behind the bar, and we threw parties every weekend. We'd get 5 kegs on a Friday night, and I was back there filling kegs and playing tunes, and I played a lot of dance kind of music back then. And some girl came up and she handed me Nirvana's new record, and I didn't know, had the I'd never heard of them. And she says, play, I think she said play the first song, or just play Teen Spirit. She told me to put that song on, Teen Spirit. And I was like, okay. And I put it on, and it was like horror. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, it was so different to what I was used to listening to and what we had been listening to that night. And I remember 2 things about that moment. Was that, number one, I was horrified by the change in the energy from what we were listening to what this music was. And the second thing was that the crowd of people, and I don't know how many people were there. There was a lot, a couple hundred, and they just started just almost like pogoing, and they were just the whole room was just bouncing up and down, and I literally thought the place was going to fall apart, because it was they went absolutely berserk for that music. And I knew I didn't like it when I first heard it. I didn't like it. I was like, this is, what the hell is this? And that was an interesting moment, because I didn't know it then, but I understood it later. That was, for me, that kind of that was the moment music changed. and it was dramatic. That was crazy. Bump, 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 bump. Let's see. What's 6 saying? All the rock and roll school friends of mine growing up, they're doing better than all hip hop disco heads. Cure got me into rock and roll. Yeah, The Cure. He wrote some great songs. The Ram ones. Roll and the Ram ones. Rock and roll and the Ram. I've heard of that. Yeah, people, the record business is so shady. I don't think people understand how bad they screw the artist, and they do it. They've been doing it so long. They're so good at it. As a band, you coming up and you want to get signed because that's how you make it big, and then a record company comes and they find you and you're not gonna find them, believe me, and they find you somehow, and they used to send out record people to watch shows and stuff, but they sign you and they give you this sign on bonus, and it's like you go from a starving artist to having 20 grand, you know, and you think, that's like a revolution in your life, and like all of a sudden you can eat. And then it's like, oh, we can buy some new equipment, and then they send you on tour, and they're paying for your hotels, and you get bigger and bigger, and you get a bus, and that you got bigger and bigger stages, and you're playing bigger and bigger places, and you're selling more and more records, and you think it's like you're being taken care of this whole time. They're feeding you, they're clothing you, they're uh you're not getting paid per se, but you feel like you're getting paid. You feel like you're a rock star. And then you get to a point and you're like, man, I want to, take some of my money and I want to buy a house. And then you find out you don't have any money because, you've been paying for everything they've been giving you. And that's when trouble comes into paradise. And then you've signed a contract where you have to, record so many records before you can be released from the contract. And it is a horrible business. It is really bad. Yeah, punk rock was amazing. I remember the when I was in eighth grade, I believe, seventh, eighth grade. My best friend at the time, Greg, and he gave me two records that changed my music forever. The first was um, Sex Pistols, Never Mind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. And the second was Love and Rockets Express. And those two albums really shaped my musical taste in the future. Now, I didn't, the Sex Pistols I didn't get into as much until later, but the Love and Rockets, they really affected me. And if you've never heard Love and Rockets Express, I highly suggest that album. And it's one thing to listen to it on, say, YouTube, but to listen to it on, say, CD or record on vinyl, and to listen to it on headphones, a whole nother experience. They did things with sound in there that enveloped you and it just take you on this journey. They don't make records like that anymore. you know it's funny now. It's surprising how many bands don't actually sing, um or musical acts, that, like, that anybody that you see on stage that is performing and singing, you can almost guarantee they're going to they've got vocals, running through a track. That, I mean, you can't run around a stage and jump up and down and dance and all that and still sing well. That is just, I mean, and it's kind of like a known thing that, like, it's a performance. Um, Now bands, that's a different story. Another thing that's weird is with in-ear monitors. There's I think a strange thing where, you used to, you had live, monitor speakers on the stage, and the band is hearing um the monitor speakers, which were, you know they would send more, like guitarists would want more guitar than drums or something like that. And the drummer wanted more of this. Everybody wanted different things, but you could still hear the audience, and you had a lot of you could still hear a lot of the sound. But see, nowadays with the in-ear monitors, it's different. You hear exactly what you want to hear. You hear, if you only want to hear vocals and a little bit of guitar and a tiny bit of drum, you can hear exactly what you want to hear. No audience. So imagine you're up on stage and you're playing your guitar, and in your ears you're hearing your guitar and you're hearing maybe the vocals a little bit, and you don't hear anything else. Like, you're in your own little world. It's like you don't have that feedback of the audience. I mean, you see the people yelling and screaming, but you don't. There's an energy of the screaming that you're not hearing, and it's just it's a different thing. But I mean, there's a lot of good things about in-ear monitors. It helps protect your hearing. That's a good thing, and it allows you to give a better mix per your what you want to hear. It allows the sound engineers to control the audio better. Um, but there's also something really lost in the music, I think. And that also, another thing they're doing is they're playing click tracks. Um, I can't stand click tracks, but a lot of people are using click tracks now. What a click track is it's basically a metronome that's keeping you the time. But see, I like the feel of organic, of music being organic, and being a little bit out of sync with time. That one time it's played a little bit faster, another time it's played a little bit slower, another time it's played a little bit faster and then a little bit slower, a little bit slower, then a little bit faster, or up and down, up and down. I don't know. I think it gave it more of an organic feel without the click tracks. That's just a personal opinion. You can tell which singer's not signing their last way because they're one hit wonders. Um, there's a lot of artists that they do realize that it's not what they're told, not what they wanted it to be. They can see through it, and they back away from it. Um, and yeah, they become one hit wonders. Another thing is that a lot of people don't realize that in the music industry is a lot of the hit songs you hear are not even written by the artists that are singing them. That those songs are being they take them from other artists that write the songs There's some it's shady, and it. Oh, I mean, if you really want to get into shadiness, go look into the Wrecking Crew. Um, that story always fascinates me about how a lot of the old records that you love weren't even played by the musicians that you thought played them. And what the Wrecking Crew was, they were studio musicians that basically you'd have a band, popular bands, or bands you've heard of, and they would go to the studio and they would say, okay, we have these songs we want to record, but what happens is that because these bands are new, they're not pros yet, you know, and so the record company will bring in the Wrecking Crew, and the Wrecking Crew will learn the music very quickly, and then the Wrecking Crew will record the music, and then the band will practice the music and then go on tour. But the Wrecking Crew is they recorded some of the most famous music that you and I have listened to, and they are very much entrenched into recording history of music. And you'd be surprised at how many records that they actually played on. And it wasn't a one set of people; it was a group, a large group of musicians, and they called them the Wrecking Crew. Sometimes they need a bass player, sometimes they need a drummer, sometimes they need you know, a singer or a backing vocal or a guitarist or different violinist or whatever. It'd be different bass players or it'd be all different. It was just whoever was that kind of they did that kind of music and whoever was available. Bump, 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 bump. Bump, bump, bump. Rocky Horror Picture Show was big in Raleigh when I was growing up too. I never went though. I don't know why. I actually did some things at they held it at the Rialto Theater in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I did some work in the Rialto Theater one time, and but I never went to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've seen the movie, but I did not get there. What is this? I think a lot of them do. Rihanna's another Britney Spears. I actually met Britney Spears one time uh, before she went cuckoo, and she was very sweet. She was she just a weird thing. She's she was on tour, and I don't remember the year 2000 um 2 or 3, and she was on tour, and she was passing through, and she had made a music video, and her record company wanted her to view the music video and get her final approval on it. And I was working at the largest audio video, professional audio video company in America at the time, Media Consultant Systems Integrators, and I was a salesman. And I had my office, and she stopped in because we had a video conferencing suite, which was a big deal back then. And it wasn't as big as a deal as it was in the 90s when I actually worked on video conferencing, which was a whole big deal. That was a next level kind of shit. But in the 2000s, it was pretty simplified, but it was still not real common. But anyways, we had a video conferencing suite that we rented out when we weren't using it, and so it was just a way that our office made a little extra money. and we had it listed somehow. I don't even remember, and they called up and said, we'd like to rent your video conferencing suite to watch this video. And so anyways, she rolls up in there with her entourage, and they were getting the video set up and everything, and she starts walking around the office, and we had a pretty big office then, and anyway, somehow I'm sitting in my office minding my own damn business, and working on my computer, and I noticed the presence in the room. You feel somebody walk in the room, and I looked up, and Britney Spears was sitting in front of my desk, like in the chair in front of my desk. She was sitting at my fucking desk, Britney Spears. I mean, I knew she was coming, but I didn't care. It was like Britney Spears. I didn't care about Britney Spears, but it was just like I look up and there's Britney Spears, and we had a little conversation, and she was very nice. That was so weird though. But I met Britney Spears. But that was before she went all whatever they did to her. I don't even know, but she was very, very nice at that time. Not crazy at all. Listen to rock and roll, country music nowadays, music, hip hop. Oh yeah, twist. Rap is that is a huge psyop on the that yeah, that is weaponized music. Definitely. It's sad too, because in the 80s it was it was so good. Man, it was cool. It was good times back then. Man, I remember going to a frat party of all things in the 90s, 92, 93, something like that, and Tribe Called Quest was playing the rap party. That was cool. That was really cool. That was really, really cool. Tribe Called Quest in a frat house. it was off the chain. That was so cool. That was cool. Quit listening to music a decade ago. When I first woke up, one of the things I did was I had a huge CD collection, massive, and I had it in. I kept it in these huge CD folder things, and they'd be like 6 inches thick or something, huge things. And I had multiple of these things just packed with music that I'd collected over the years. And when I woke up, I gave it away. I gave it all away. I wanted to back away from music for a while. And so for a while there, when I was waking up, I didn't listen to music. So I get that. I really didn't come back into music until I started doing YouTube. That was I started, using my music experience and knowledge in my videos, and but I get the whole backing away from music thing. I used to be a drummer. I had to quit drumming though. When I hurt my back in 2000, let's see, about 2005, I think it was. That was just the end of my playing drums. But I actually, I used to be pretty damn good on drums. I have put up a video of me playing drums before, but the problem is that I'd already hurt my back at that point, and that was kind of my. I knew at that time I wasn't going to be able to play much longer, because it was every time I played, it was just excruciating. And so it was kind of like I wanted to record myself playing, but the problem is that I didn't have the right mic, and the audio was just absolute shit. So like you can't hear the audio, and I tried to sync up I know what track I was listening to. It was Perfect Circle. Oh, I have hours of me playing, but I don't like you can't. The audio is just shit because I used a DV camcorder and just used the audio off that. I should have used a better microphone. I didn't have one at the time. I should have done that. That was my death rattle of playing drums. And I had just got matter of fact, in that video, I wasn't even playing my big kit. I had 2 drum kits. That kit I was actually that kit became really big. That day I had set it up smaller, and anyways, I used to play the shit out of drums. I would love to play drums, but I just it just doesn't it's not fun when you hurt and you're playing. So I had to let that go. But I did that in when I'd say I got hurt in 2005, and I kept trying to play up until about 2007, and then I just gave up. I sold all my drums, and that was, oh my God, I didn't get. I mean, I got so little for my drums. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, I had put so much money into my drums, and I had many thousands of dollars into drums, and it just didn't bring nothing reselling them. And so that was disappointing. But so drums are a bad investment if you're ever looking to, at least, unless you're Ringo Starr or some shit. But no, I was playing drums since I was in 4th grade. That's when I started playing drums. So, anyways, that was the old days when I was young. Ain't young no more though. That's all right. You got to get old sometime, don't we? Bum bum bum. Listen to classical. I've never been a big classical fan. It's just not my thing. A little bit, but not very. That's just not my thing. I did try to go through like a musical education of trying to listen to Beethoven and things like that for a little while, just to acclimate myself to learn that style of music, and it just never took. Now jazz took. Oh, yeah, I love some jazz now. But see, jazz is weird. You either get jazz or you don't get jazz. And I think what it is with jazz is that there's no rules. And it doesn't follow a set song, like, this is how a song goes. And I don't think people can understand that. A song goes wherever, and it doesn't. You don't play it the same way twice, really. Jazz is if you get jazz, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And when I first started making videos on YouTube, I would actually try to use jazz from time to time, and people either loved it or they absolutely despised it, and they would fight me on it. And I just got to where it was just like, okay, I give. I don't even want to, like, I don't want to argue this anymore, because it's like you're talking, like, it's like talking to a meltologist. They're a brick wall of like, you're not getting past that brick wall. And I get it. You don't like it, but some people, if you get it, you get it. and the Sex Pistols. Yeah, have you watched the I forget what the name of that oh shoot, what's it called? I have to look it up now. Now you got me wondering. There's a show I watched. It was I really enjoyed it. About the Sex Pistols. I don't think that the Sex Pistols particularly liked it, but I thought it was really cool. I thought it had a very good it really kind of got the vibe. Oh, they got Rescue Me on Tubi now. If y'all never seen Tubi, y'all gotta check Tubi out. Tubi has got a lot of good stuff on it. It's called Pistol. Yeah, Pistol. That show was really, I liked that. I enjoyed that. I had a ball watching that. I'd watch that again. Because I love Sex Pistols history. Like they're you got to take it. Pistols is it's not it's kind of loosely based on a true story. There's a lot of it that's not true, but it's I think it really gathers the kind of the heartbeat of it a lot. Kind of I mean, man, the Sex Pistols, like they did something that they broke through. They beat the door down with what they were doing, and they weren't like oh man, it's like I don't know. I don't want to give anything away about, because if you look into it, you learn all these different things that are just so wild. That it's just, man, it's like, what is it? Oh gosh, what's his name? What's the guitar player's name? Jonesy. John Paul Jones, is that his name? Jonesy, where he, originally was going to sing, and he couldn't sing. And then they, Malcolm, gives him a guitar and, tells him to learn to play, and he learns to play the freaking guitar. He just learns to play because he's so eager, and becomes one of the greatest punk rock guitarists of all times. And he wrote anthems of punk rock, and he started out not being able to play a lick. And then you got Sid Vicious, who he couldn't play a lick. He never could play a lick. Yet he is like the crown jewel of punkdom. He's like he was the spectacle that is punk. And then you've got, Johnny Lydon, and I mean, he's brilliant. His lyrics, just absolutely brilliant. Now his politics have gotten a little bit wackadoodle lately, but man, those guys, they really did. And then you got, Paul Cook, I mean, he could have just as easily not been the drummer. Like we're really lucky he was there. And I don't know if y'all know this, but Paul Cook, our old world Paul Cook, is related to Paul Cook, the drummer of the Sex Pistols. They are related. Believe me, I looked into this. Me and Paul had a conversation about this. I got it from the horse's mouth. They are related. And that's so fucking cool, man. And then they like sent them over. They sent the Sex Pistols over to America Malcolm's a fucking lunatic. He sends them to America to destroy the band. That was his point. He wanted to destroy the Sex Pistols. He wasn't sending them to make them big. He was sending them to destroy them. And then, of course, you've got the fact that, Sid did not kill Nancy. Okay. I believe what happened excuse me, I believe what happened is that they got into it. There was a guy that was a drug dealer that was dealing drugs, around their location in the hotel they were staying in, and I think they didn't pay their bill, and I think he came and collected, and I think he's the one that killed Nancy, and Sid woke up and Nancy's in the bathroom dead. I think he passed out in a heroin overdose, a heroin induced coma, whatever. And when he woke up, Nancy was dead. And I don't think he didn't know anything. He had no memory of it, and I think he didn't have any memory of it because he didn't do it. But he ended up dying soon after that due to that. And I mean, everybody still thinks that Sid, killed Nancy, and he didn't. I don't think he did. I don't know. It's such a rich story. There's so much history there that if you really if you really love music, look into the Sex Pistols. Look, they really, they changed the whole point of being in a band. Your hope is to change the world, and they did that. Regardless of if you think that they changed it for the better or the worse or whatever, they changed the world with what they did. No question. And that is so rare. They're not one-hit wonders. They didn't even have a hit. They did, they got screwed by everybody. I just love their story. That was a decision I made, in the beginning. And it YouTube doesn't like that. They want you to monetize. It's like you wonder how these channels, like you were talking about Lucius Alorian earlier and how he rose up so fast. I could have done that easily too if I had to monetize, but by not monetizing, YouTube doesn't share you out. You're not making them that money they want, and so you're not a money maker, and they don't promote your stuff. They just basically turn the algorithm against you. But I get to do the art the way I want to do it. And you know what? If that's, if that, keeps the channel completely like underground, so be it. I did it my way. And that's, to me, that's more important than 100, 200, 300,000 subs. I mean, I've got 8 people watching right now, and I'm just as happy as a pig in shit. That's perfectly fine. I'm not here for the masses, but I appreciate it. Yeah, the computer fakery is getting out of hand. My question, I got a very serious question about the AI videos that are coming out now on Old World Research. I don't really know how to ask the question. I can just tell you where my thinking is. And I'm sure you guys have noticed this too. So I'm just going to say what you're thinking. You see these new Old World AI videos, and they're coming out with these theories that are like, I ain't never heard that. Like, where the hell did they get that from? And these theories are so like new and out there. Like yesterday, I ran across one. I didn't watch it, but I listened to it as I was doing something else, just because it kind of caught my eye. I was like, what the hell are they talking about there? And they were talking about how, okay, I've said on this channel, I believe that the fire hydrants are old world. Okay. And I still say that. But this channel, this video was saying that fire hydrants were water accumulators, that they were taking the condensation from the water in the air and filling up the water systems. And I'm like, I don't think that's true, but it was just like, where in the hell did that idea come from? Like, because I don't think that anybody in the old world research community has ever said that I know of. Maybe I'm wrong. And this is just one example, but like, who is there somebody out there that's just throwing shit at the wall to see if it sticks and then letting the AI go wild? Or are they picking up on other people's ideas that somebody said? Or is the AI putting out stuff that we don't know yet? It's like really weird. That's just one example, but I'm seeing a lot of that shit. Bum 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 bum. Always listening for the spells. That's funny. Like ABBA? I've never gotten into ABBA. Not personally, no. I remember when I was little, Neil Diamond playing a lot. I still kind of have a little, like, I get a smile on my face when I hear Neil Diamond. Um, I don't like Neil Diamond, but it kind of makes me smile just because it's like it reminds me of childhood. Yeah, punk rock is an acquired taste, absolutely. And it's punk rock is almost not even about the music. It's more about breaking the status quo. And not conforming to what society wants us to conform to. I like EDM music, a lot of it. Um, I don't, I can't talk shop on EDM music. I don't know enough about it, but there's some bangers of EDM. Yeah, like some of the, like, okay, I'll give you one that I really like. I love Deadmau5. Um, I just like the kid. I like his style. I like his music. He's got character. I don't just like his music. I like him as a person. Um he's like a nerdy guy that figured out how to be cool. That's interesting. You listen to bass lines. I don't, this is something I'm learning, that a lot of people are like this, that I didn't know. I thought it was kind of just me, but when I'm listening to music, I'm not hearing the lyrics. Like, one thing that's weird to me is going back and reading lyrics of songs that I've liked in my past and reading the lyrics, like, oh my God, I never knew it said that. Wow, that's really wild. I hear the music. The lyrics are like I almost tune them out. Of course, I'm partial to drums. Love the drums. Big Papa. Oh yeah. Have you heard Kathy Broughton? Have you heard the Beastie Boys? I don't know what you call it. They did an album that was not rap. It was like God, what was that album? They did an album that was like like a poppy or a rock or something. They're actually really good musicians. I guess I should say were in certain cases. Oh, you like these pictures? They are pretty, aren't they? They sure are. Dr. Dre's Wrecking Crew. Man, that whole Death Row Records, that whole deal is bad news. All that, there's a lot of naughtiness up in there. I don't know how people like live like that, like how they live with all that danger of life. Like they live in a world where everybody wants to, I don't know, it's like a fear driven world. I don't know how they really can live like that. It's interesting. Rage Against Machine. It's Rage Against. Okay, Rage Against Machine. I've seen them quite a few times in concert. I believe I've set their stage up before, back in the '90s, and I set up a lot of stages, y'all. And but now their politics has kind of flipped a bitch, and they're kind of becoming the Machine, which is kind of weird, but reminds me of what's the character SLC Punk, the guy that played the main character in the movie SLC Punk, Salt Lake City Punk. Great fucking movie. And what's his name? Liam. Anyways, he's still an actor. He was so good in that role. But in real life, he became, like, how do I explain this? The person in the movie his parents wanted him to be, that's who kind of he became in real life. He wasn't the punk. And then you've got SLC Punk 2, and you got Machine Gun Kelly playing a part, and he was really good in that. I like Machine Gun Kelly. I like, in some places I like him, in some places I don't like him. In that I liked him. I liked him a lot. I like that. I like just clap back at his diss track of Eminem. I liked that. I thought it was cool. Let's talk about it. I thought that was cool. I thought it had I thought it was cool. I think Eminem's his panties got too big. I mean he's I don't know. I don't know. I just don't find Eminem that interesting anymore. He was cool at a point, but then he just got so, I'm the goat, like he just acted like, I don't know, he's not hungry anymore. I don't know, when they lose that hunger, they lose it. I don't know. SLC Punk, that is a great, that's such a good movie. That I've watched that many times. I love the scene where the kid he puts on the he's selling the LSD and he puts it in his pocket and he runs through the sprinklers and it soaks into his leg and he trips balls for a week. Oh, that was good. Taking the 40 Chevy out Saturday. That's cool. That's really cool. Do you go to Sig, do you go to the Turkey Run car show in Daytona Beach? 1957 Apache pickup truck. Huh. High school friends with Brittany's personal bodyguard. You know, the only bodyguard that I remember from that day was a very large black guy. I wonder if that's who your friend was. But that's the only one I remember just because he was so large. He looked like he would literally grab you with one hand and end you in that hand. But that's all. Pamela Anderson washed your hair. Well, that's random. Pamela Anderson. Okay. Now, how did you accomplish that? Is what I want to know. Bye-byes. Woo! Yeah, they changed the Hertz. Yeah, they have screwed with us so much. You listen to Tribe Called Quest. Bum, bum, bum. That was so cool seeing them. Man, that was just really cool. It was just a dark room with these like cheap disco lights, and it was just full on. They're like right, like the band and the audience were right. And that's another thing in music that they have ruined in live music is that where they did it. I know why they did it. They did it for insurance reasons. They separated the stage from the audience and they put a buffer zone in there so they could protect the band from the audience and the audience from the band, and they could move between the stage and the audience with security and medical, and they could have barricades. And I get it, it's all insurance reasons, but it ruined live music because, man, when you could get right up on the stage and like it was like a whole like the shows were better because the musicians could feel your energy. You were close enough. That energy was just, you could feel it, and they fed off of it. Yep, I've heard you talk about selling CDs before. Yeah, drums are like, yeah. Drums are really hard to record, and when I had my girlfriend at the time video me doing it, but the problem is that, well, one, she sucked as a videographer. She just had never run a camera like that before, and then the second thing was that those microphones on those cameras are just horrible, and it just I could play it for you sometime, and you'd be like, oh God, like it sounds awful because I played to these big speakers, and like so you got the, not only do you have the music blaring, but you've got me playing to the music. So you've got double whammy, and it's like a cesspool of feedback and distortion, and like it's horrible. BEAGS metal band. I had me a, um, a Joey Jordanson snare drum, signature series snare drum. I had a piccolo snare. I played three different snares, and I had a DW, and I played pasty cymbals, and double bass, and well, single bass, double pedal. And it was my last kit was, I had quite a few kits, but my last kit was around 27 pieces, um, of all the different gadgets. But I love playing drums. That was something, that was one of my dreams, and I made that dream come true. And I actually have played with some of, um, I have played with famous musicians. The hush, honey, here, have a cookie and hush. Um, the I ran in a circle of friends for a few years where we would get together on Sundays it was actually my boss at the time. His name was Greg, and he would have us over for, we built a recording studio. Okay, let me back up a little bit. His wife left him, and he was kind of going through a hard time, and we kind of all kind of like, as friends, we kind of tried to kind of pick him up, and we built a recording studio in his basement for him. And what he wanted to do, because he knew a lot of famous musicians, people you've heard of, he wanted to record some things. And so we built him a recording studio. It was really cool. We had a lot of fun doing that, and built it in his basement. And then on Sundays, we'd have cookouts, and we'd go over there and drink beer and smoke weed, and we jam. Oh, God damn. I just wish y'all could have I wish I had those recordings, because they were quite honestly some of the best music I've ever heard. Because what it would happen is you'd have famous musicians that were like, you'd have the drummer from a famous band, and a guitarist from another famous band, and a bass player from another famous band, and you'd have people coming in, and we would you'd play a little bit, and then you'd go and have a beer and have a piece of barbecue, and somebody else would jump on an instrument, and it was like we're recording the whole time, and people, it's basically an ongoing jam session for all day Sunday. And like, you've got these, it's, we had members of the band the Connells there. We had members of Corrosion of Conformity there, just to name a few. And they were good times. We really had a freaking ball. And it was just this just beautiful jam session. And it was only a couple years, and it was just something that we did, and who knows where those recordings are. And some of those people have passed on now. We had members of you had Pepper come. Sometimes Pepper would come from Corrosion of Conformity, Reed from Corrosion of Conformity, um, and I loved it when Reed came because Reed would bring his drum kit. Just good fucking times. Yep. Anyways, neighbor kids love playing drums. Yeah, I used to let there used to be a lot of the. I used to live in a neighborhood that had a lot of kids, and every now and then, I would they would see me like outside doing something, and they'd be like, "Hey, can we play them drums?" And I'm like, "All right, go ask your parents." And they go ask, they come over, and there'd be 10 kids in there playing on the drums, and they they thought that was the greatest thing, and they were horrible. But it was just the smile that they would get from playing them drums. That was worth it. God. I would man, I would love to play drums again. I do miss that because that was one of my passions. There's been times I've played on stage, and I've filled in for some people that in some bands, in some big bands that they needed the things go wrong. The drummer gets high and passes out, and you need to fill the seat. You got to and then you got old John sitting there, knowing how to play the songs, and hey, can you play tonight? So I've done that, and but that wasn't really my thing. I wasn't cut out for that, I don't think. But I really did love to play, and I would play. I liked jamming privately. But I've jammed with some really good people. Really, really fucking good musicians, y'all. Not the best musicians I've ever heard. You've never heard on records. They're not on the radio. It is so hard to get a record deal. It is so hard to break out. It is so hard just to find a band to play with. The best musicians you've never even heard of. So that's the truth. All right. Okay, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I think I've run my mouth enough tonight. Yeah, I have enjoyed Lucius's research, and I am interested. I'm telling you right now, I had meltologists telling me that Lucius and Mind Unveiled are pushing meltology. Now, let me be clear here. There is a difference between talking about meltology and saying that a brick can turn into a stone or all mountains are melted buildings. If anybody out there is saying this, I want to know it. I want to put them on my list because I believe that is not true. And I believe it is not true enough that I'm willing to part ways. I don't care who you are. I do not feel that it's right to push things on the community that are blatantly not true. It's one thing to speculate about things, but when you are talking about unicorns turning into dragons or some shit. I mean, you're just not. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna do that. I don't think that's right. And I'm gonna fight this fight. I don't care if it pisses the entire community off. I don't care if nobody watches this channel. I don't care if I burn every bridge in this community. If I've got to do that in order to get the word out that these people are not pushing the truth, that's what needs to happen. I don't care about your fucking opinion. If your fucking opinion is that a brick turns into a stone, that's a lie. Plain and simple. John Levy, you're lying. That's not true. Okay, that's a lie. I don't care how you try to spin it. That's not true. You can't prove that. There's no truth to that. And I can't be a part of that. I just it's ridiculous. It is blatantly it's blatantly obvious how not true that is. And quit saying it's their opinion. Fuck their. I've got my opinion too. I can have my opinion just as well as they can have their opinion. And my opinion is that they are a fraud. That they are grifting off this community. They're stealing people's money because they're spitting out these fairy tale adventure bullshit. And people are like, oh my God, and people don't want to think it through. They don't want to do the research. They just want to be presented research. And then, you got this crap research coming in. It's like, and they won't come and talk to you. I reached a hand out to Shawnee B. I said, I'm breaking my own show rules that, no creators, but I'm going to give you a pass to, come and talk to me on my channel on, live and have a chat, have a conversation and let's figure out what we agree on, what we disagree on. Let's have a civil conversation. No. Can't do that. You can't. They cannot have that conversation because they know they are a fraud. And I'm going to continue to expose that fraud. And it pisses them off. Oh my God, they're snakes writhing. The demons are coming out in them. I mean, you don't death threat people because you like their work. No, they death threatened me because I threatened their existence. They know it. So anyways, if you know anybody that needs to be on my master list of Meltards, let me know, and I want to know about it. I have one that got one there is one creator out there that I'm gonna reach out to him and get them to clarify their position because out of respect for them, because I don't really want to throw them under the bus, but I will if I have to. It's got to be done. If it's got to be done, it's got to be done. But I think this person I'm going to reach out to, I think they deserve that. So let me know if you find anybody that's I want to know. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the biggest names or the lowest names. If it's if they're making videos and claiming two things: a brick is turning into a stone, or all mountains are melted brick buildings. I don't care if they're saying there's melted buildings. I don't care about that. I believe that there's probably melted buildings in our realm. I don't have any problem with that. I don't care if they're saying a brick can melt. That's obvious. That's like brick making 101. I don't, but if they're saying that, all sand is melted bricks, or they're saying that icebergs are melted buildings, or if they're saying that asphalt is melted buildings, or cinder blocks melted buildings, or cobblestone bricks or melted buildings. I want to know about it. That's what I want to know. I want to know the dumb shit. Let me know the people that are doing the dumb shit. I'm gonna put them on the list, and they, oh my god, they're like, oh boy, we're on the list. Oh yeah, you're on the list. Celebrate now, motherfuckers, because you're going down. I'm sorry, but you know. And here's another thing, and I'll say it here. If you're on the list and you want to get off the list, that's a possibility too. But you're gonna have to prove it. You're gonna have to prove that you've changed your ways. You've got to, you know, you've got to renege that horseshit narrative you're spouting. Y'all do realize that Meltology was invented. The theory, the hypothesis of Meltology was invented by a literal drug addict. Like, he's out of his fucking mind. Jerry DeCamp. He goes, his right now his YouTube channel is Meltology Professor. He changes it a lot or gets his channels deleted a lot because he's fucking insane. Now, if you start off, why? Okay, this is a good question. Why is Conspiracy R Us on the master list? He is on there because he is claiming that a wall of bricks has turned into stone. So he is literally regurgitating the same shit that the meltologists are saying. He's gone full meltard. There's no excuse for that. And that pained me to put him on the list, because he has been, one of my top 5 channels my entire time I've looked into Mudflood. And to see him go down that route, I was flabbergasted that he went from being such a good researcher to being a fucking idiot, because that's what he's become. Frauds are us. And go back and watch his Meltology video. Listen to the words that come out. You've got to understand, these people are changing okay, like John Levy, instead of saying a brick morphs into a stone, so to speak, he'll say this brick has fused into stone. It's the same thing. It's just different wording. They change the wording hoping that you won't see what they're doing. And they're just copy and pasting. They're regurgitating. They're parroting the Meltology hypothesis that's being touted. And I have zero tolerance for it. None. I'm sorry, but I was dumbfounded that Conspiracy RS fell for that. I have shouted his channel out. He shouted me out for it. I've shouted his channel out so many times. I've watched all of his videos. I really, really enjoy his work. But as soon as you claim that a brick wall is changing into stone, you lost me. That's it. We're done. We breaking up. That's it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. There's no excuse for that. You're too big and too intelligent to be throwing that shit out there to people, and people are eating. Oh my God, the meltologists are they're dancing in their underwear. They're so happy. They feel like they have won the war. They won a battle. They ain't won the war. The war ain't over yet. I'm gonna win this war. Yeah, I may be long gone for, but in the end, you heard it here first, that was a lie, that a brick can't turn into stone. I want you now. Can a stone be melted? Yeah, it can. I've seen evidence that a stone can be melted. Can a brick be melted? Yeah, a brick can be melted. Well, that's a fact. That's like an easy 101 shit. But a brick turning into stone, no, impossible. There has to be some form of reality here. We can't just, you can't just make shit up and go on God's internet and just spread this shit, because people eat this shit up. I mean, it's really hurting the community. Another thing is, and I don't think people understand this, is that the Meltologists, they believe that the mud flood didn't happen. So they adamantly will say there is no mud flood. It was all melt flood. It was all, X factor. They refuse to hear mud flood. So if you go, what I'm trying to explain, if you go Meltology, if you go and you start believing them, you've got to give up Mudflood, because they will break you down, and at some point you'll have to give up Mudflood to stay part of their group, to stay. They're not going to allow you to live amongst them and believe in the Mudflood. They will shoot you down every time. They do not have any they have no acceptance for Mudflood theory at all. And I know you'll have these you'll have these people. Oh, we can have both. Yeah, we can have both. Okay, we over here Mudflood, we can say, yeah, we Mudflood, and yes, it's possible. Excuse me. During long ago, reset, there was melted buildings. Yeah, we can have both, but they can't. They no, because you got to understand that their doctrine, their cult indoctrination came from Jerry DeCamp, and Jerry DeCamp, he laid down the rules to them a long time ago. You do not debate. That he literally says there is nothing to debate. And that's where they stand. That's why I can't get them to debate me, because Jerry DeCamp, their leader, their fearless wackadoodle leader, said there's nothing to debate. And so they believed, well, we don't have to debate this. They think they don't have to debate it, like it's not, like they're untouchable intellectually. And they're really just a bunch of, ding fries are done retards. But they are ripping through this community, the Mudflood community, and they're going to, I'm going to be honest with y'all, they're going to destroy this community. It's not going to be the same after they're done. It's coming, because they have infiltrated so much, and it's just what dumbfounds me is that the researchers are falling for it. That's what dumbfounds me. It's like, has Mind Unveiled talked about Meltology? Yes, I have heard Mind Unveiled talk about Meltology. I don't have any problem with that. And see, that's the thing. I can. They're not hearing that part. They as soon as I disagree with a brick could turn into stone, they think, oh no, he's attacking Meltology. Well, he's a shield. Okay, where's my shield check? Can you point that to me? I haven't seen that. Where's my shield check? Anybody? Y'all see my shield check? Anybody? Kathy Broughton, you got my shield check? You better cough up my shield check. It's like, come on. I love the shill word. He's a shill. She's a shill. Nobody has any proof anybody's a shill. Yeah, they're a shill. It's the go-to parrot, parrot trap. Oh my God. You know, I've got this show. I'm sitting here, and at any time, one of these meltologists could come on here and have a conversation about meltology. But you notice none of them come, not one of them. And it's not that they're scared. It's that they've been told that there's nothing to debate, that their cult belief system is unquestionable. So they don't feel that there's any need to debate it. And they say, well, they just can't see it. They can't see the melt. We're going to look at a brick and we're going to call it melted. And then we'll say that brick is, they'll, oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I've seen them hold up a brick that's surrounded by mortar and say, look, this is a brick transitioning. I feel like I'm a psychiatric doctor in an insane asylum, and I'm surrounded by nut jobs, and we're having a group chat about this subject of meltology, and they're all like delusional. They're off their meds. They've not taken the little cup today. And what's this going to do to younger people that are just coming into these theories? Because young minds are so malleable. I mean, my goodness. I mean, it's going to really stunt children's alternative history thinking. That's for sure. But then again, you know what's probably going to happen? I'm just kind of thinking ahead here. You know what's probably going to happen? Somebody big is going to Karen B this. Okay, you remember when Karen B absolutely destroyed Jerry DeCamp? Brilliant. She just absolutely destroyed Jerry DeCamp. He dropped stream. But what I'm saying is, what's going to happen is they're going to build this thing up, and they're going to be the next big thing since sliced bread. And then all of a sudden they're going to hit the mainstream, and they're going to do something stupid like go on Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan's going to sit there and he's going to listen to them. And then he's just going to fucking destroy them. And he's going to expose them so bad. It's going to just, the whole community is going to melt down. It's going to be brilliant. I could definitely see Joe Rogan destroying Meltology. Definitely. That's going to be brilliant. That's going to be really, really funny. And I'll be sitting here and I'll be like, told you so. I mean, told you so. All right, guys. I've ran my mouth long enough. We'll try this again in a couple weeks. And if anybody wants to come back and hang out and do some chatting and have a conversation. And that's what I like to do. I like to have a conversation. Like, Sid came on here earlier. We just had a conversation. It was about anything, whatever you want to talk about. You just hang out and just talk. I think that's what's missing from our community is actual talking, communicating. Um, I think all the bullshit has just got in the way, and there's too many people arguing and fighting and pissing each other's vinegar, and I'm just sick and fucking tired of it. And I know I'm the problem, but you got to understand I'm fighting for the truth, and I'm trying to bring these people together. The problem is we don't agree, okay? And we can't just agree to disagree. There has to be a conversation, okay? And sometimes we're just not going to get along. But we've got to learn to get through that. We can't just, throw rocks at each other all the time. It's just like we're fucking monkeys up in here. Come on, Meltology, step up to the plate. Have a conversation. Fuck Jerry DeCamp and his fucking ideas. Fuck Jen Truth Seeker 69, her bullshit. These people, they're just people on YouTube. They don't have all the answers. And, you need to quit. It's like I saw that video recently of Shawnee B walking around with Curtis 47. That guy's a real fucking dick. But Shawnee, he was like talking down to Shawnee, like, just like kind of like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You know nothing. Like, and he was just like lording over him, like alpha mailing him. And, and Shawnee's like pointing out, there's a level under, like he was pointing out a Mudflood window. Like, he's like, there's a level under here. And like Curtis was just acting like he was an idiot. And it's like, man, stand up for yourself. Don't let that guy fucking, run you over like that. That's the kind of shit that's they'll eat each other from the inside too. Oh, and they're always fighting. They're always arguing with each other. I don't know. Anyways, I like the Mudflood. I'm gonna get back to my doing viaducts. I think that's gonna be really. I think you're all really gonna enjoy that. I've got some stuff y'all ain't seen before. It's gonna be a whole different. It's gonna be a whole other thing. I think you're gonna really enjoy the stuff I found, because it really is gonna bring a perspective. Let's put it this way. Looking back at the original video, one thing that became real clear to me is that I didn't have a lot of what used to be there. I didn't show a lot of what used to be there, what was covered up. And I've got that now. See you soon. Love, Biggs.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No. mystery. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma. Don't you get it?
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
Welcome to the underground.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.